All right, so welcome to day 6. This is the second day of my refeed, and today's video, I wanted to focus more on how I was feeling after the first day of refeed, and tonight is also later in the night after my whole day of feeding for the second day because I really wanted to document how I feel each day of my refeeds after I eat, and if I would have did a video earlier, I wouldn't have been fully done eating. So this is my sort of walk I'm doing after eating my last snack meal of the night. So I started this morning and I weighed myself, and I was only up 1.5 pounds from my fasting weight, which is the lowest I've ever been after a fast refeed. Usually I'm up around 4 to 6 pounds, but I think it's partially attributed to usually when I'm fasting, I'm not really doing much exercises, maybe a little bit of walking. But during this last fast, I did 2 times playing pickleball of 1,600 calories. So I also, based off of a recommendation from my nutritionist, I've been drinking a lot more water than I normally would, especially when I'm fasting. So I think with those two combined, really helped negate my weight gain. So when I started the day off, I felt really good. I don't think that I had really any negative effects from the day one refeed. Again, I eased into it just like when I did my month-long refeed. I started the day off yesterday with the kimchi and sauerkraut, then went into the soup a few hours later, then added the other stuff later in the day. So I really don't think that there was anything wrong with doing that, and I really like that process. Now, today is more of a little bit of a different story. All right, so here is first meal of day 2 of the refeed. I am doing a can of this Progresso Southwest black bean, 20 grams of protein soup. Again, having some of these crispy onion straws on top for a little crisp, and I probably used about half a bag. All right, here is meal number 2. It is some roasted garlic butter red potatoes, some refried beans, and 150 grams of the rotisserie chicken. These are the potatoes I got, the bird's eye sauce potatoes. These are the black beans, and again, if you've never had these are the best black beans ever. Refried black beans, Amy's, just unbeatable. And this is, again, the spices that I put on chicken. All right, next thing I'm going to eat today, a little snack. It is a large honey crisp apple, and I'm going to eat it with some of these Mega Omega trail mix. All right, so for my last actual meal of my refeed, I'm having this rest of the baby spring mix, the rest of my sweet pepper strips, and then I made 200 grams of chicken that I had left. I mixed some mayonnaise in it with it and dill weeds because I like some like dill chicken salad. So I'm gonna eat that with this, and that should be really my final meal of this 2-day refeed. All right, so here is my final thing for today. My dessert, it is blueberries, about 200 grams, cinnamon sprinkle on top of banana, and the rest of this 70% cocoa hazelnut bar. And that's the wrap for my refeed for my 137-hour fast. And I think the reason I feel this is the first time I've ever felt like I'm forcing myself to eat after a fast is because normally when I do the 90 or 120 hour-ish fast and I lead into another one, I only do a 1-day refeed. So I really enjoy those meals. And then the next day I'm back into a fast, so I'm not eating as much. And I really feel like that's what I want to try to focus on doing going forward, because I feel like right now I kind of regret eating today. But again, I already bought all that food, so I didn't also want to like just waste a bunch of food. I know tomorrow I'm probably going to wake up and weigh more, which will kind of make the regret even worse. But again, this is things that you have to deal with in real life, and in the long term it's not going to affect anything. This is just, I look at this as a learning lesson to myself and anybody else that's doing this, that listen to your body. I just know that going forward, when I do these 120 hour and 90 hour fasts that I'm planning to do like a few weeks at a time, I'm going to keep my refeed to a 1-day refeed. Because if I would have just went back into a fast today, I would have 100% fine and not felt bloated or anything at all. I don't think that the way I'm feeling right now has anything to do with the way I ate or what I ate, because like I said yesterday, after my refeed day, felt good all day during the refeed, got up, felt great. And again, I don't feel disgusted with myself right now or feel disgusting in general. It's just, I know that I could have went today without eating, and as I was eating, I just felt like I was just forcing myself to do it. So starting on this next fast, which I'm going to start tomorrow, I'm going to do another 120 hour fast, or a little bit longer depending on when it lands. Because again, like I mentioned yesterday, if it ends at any time past like probably 1 or 2 o'clock in a day, I'm just going to push it to the next day. Because especially now, knowing that I'm only going to do a 1-day refeed, I like kind of spread it out, like starting off early in the day, like around noon, eating, slowly eating, and then trying to finish up by 6 o'clock. So if it falls on a weird time, basically afternoon on a day, I'm really just going to push it to the next day, because it just makes me feel better. And that's another thing that happened today too, is just the way my day worked out. Since I didn't start eating in the morning and I waited until 1 o'clock to have my first meal, since I spread my meals out and I like going for walks in between the meals, I ended up finishing my final dessert meal at like 8 o'clock at night. And to me, that's just too late at night. I don't feel good about doing that. But again, I didn't want to waste the food, so that's what happened. And I guess my wrap up for today is that it's not always going to be a deal and work out perfectly the way you want it when you're doing stuff like that. And just remember, just don't get too caught up in it. Don't give up. Like, I'm not going to just give up tomorrow and give up on my fasting and going back to eating like junk again just because today didn't go the exact way I wanted it. All right, and I think that's where we're going to wrap this video up for tonight. I know this one was short, but I did still get my over 10,000 steps today. I think I'm going to end up today with around 12,000. And I just want to remind everybody, like, the point of these videos is that I'm doing these videos to hold myself accountable to get my steps in. And is it nice some days to record longer videos? Yes. But even like today, it's already 9 o'clock at night and I haven't finished making this video and I still need to edit it. So I'm going to keep it short just because, again, this is like a dual accountability test of getting my steps in, which I hit today. And I'm trying to make a video every day like this for at least a month straight to get in the habit of being comfortable making and editing and putting out content on a consistent basis. So overall, again, don't feel great about refeed, don't feel devastated about it, but I feel good that I'm going to get this video out. I feel good I hit my steps, and again, take this day as a learning lesson, not as disappointment. I'm still happy at the end of the day of how this day went. So we'll catch up with you tomorrow on the first day of the next 120 plus hour fast. Stick with it, and one step at a time.